It's so good. It is really good.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the Real Horror Show podcast. I'm your host, Samantha.
And I'm your co-host, Stormy Skies.
This is our mini show where we talk about a show we're currently watching together and then pick our next movie. But we still have two more Saw movies to go, just two more. What we don't have is another show after this.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. I was like, well, Sam, I just now watched the last episode and it went over 8 minutes, a little bit because it was longer than an hour, which is cool.
Yeah.
But now I don't know what's next.
Yeah, we gotta figure it out. We gotta figure out what
We have
horror
a
television
week.
series
Yeah, we have a week
we
to
have
figure it
access
out.
to.
A week to figure it out.
I know there's Chucky on Shudder. I haven't watched the Chucky series at all. I've heard very good
Okay.
things about it because it is the original like crew doing it,
Ah,
and it is a direct
okay.
sequel to all the Chucky movies.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We've still got Brad.
Brad Dourif.
Thank you.
Is that him? Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
Brad Dourif.
I completely forgot how to say his name as I was saying it.
Just Brad D.
Brad D.
Brad
He's
D.
back. It's the original director who's done all of it. Because I remember when the remake of Chucky was coming out, they were getting ready to launch this TV show. So it's
Oh,
been out for a little while.
yeah.
So that's an option.
Option. Okay.
There's also, I still haven't watched the original Haunting of Hill House that put Mike Flanagan on the map.
Do you want to do like a Mike Flanahan or Flanagan like rewind?
Yeah, we could totally do a Mike Flanagan rewind.
I don't know which one it is. Is it Flanagan?
It's Flanagan.
Flanagan.
Yeah.
Flanahan. Flanagan.
Yeah, I
Flanagan
haven't
rewind.
done
So we
Hill
would
House.
start. Yeah.
Or he has Midnight Library too, which is more of a
Midnight
like
Library.
yeah, it's geared towards like
You mean Midnight Mass?
no, he has one called Midnight Library or Midnight in the Library, which is more geared towards like teenagers. But
Oh,
I've heard like good things about the jump scares.
Midnight Library show.
Yeah. I know it's based on like a YA book, so it's geared more towards a not super young crowd, but a younger crowd, which is great. We need more like age appropriate horror to get kids into horror. Um,
You mean the Midnight Club?
Midnight Club, yes.
All right, cool, cool. Yeah, yeah, I remember
So
that. Okay.
there's quite a few.
Yeah.
I think
Is that a show?
he's coming to an end with his like contract with Netflix. So we should totally do a Mike Flanagan rewind now that we've done House
Flanagan.
of Usher.
Yeah, so we did House of Usher. Is Midnight Club a show? Is that a TV show?
I think it is. It might be a movie.
A show?
I think
It's a TV show. It has one
yeah.
season. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right.
Because I've heard good things about it. I've heard it's like got good jump scares and Mike Flanagan's
Yeah.
voice.
His voice. His voice. No, yeah, because we could do that. Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass, The Haunting of Bly Manor, The Midnight Club, and then we just watched Usher. So yeah, that would take us probably through the rest of the year, honestly.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
short, they're well
Wanna do that?
written,
Oh, dude,
unlike
Haunting of Hill House.
uh half of the originals. So
Yeah, that was a rough one. I
it was rough.
can't believe we did all that.
Anyway, let's talk about the last episode of Fall of the House of Usher because I think it was a really great series overall.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was super good.
Dude, there's something I want to bring up real quick about the last episode that I totally forgot to mention before we talk about this. And it's whenever it's just like a funny part whenever like Roderick started like saying a poem, like the Annabelle Lee poem, and then um Dupin was like, you just shut up. It's like, yeah, just shut up. So like I don't know if you remember that part. It was the last episode, not this one. But he would just go on with his stupid poem and he's like, just shut up. So
Yeah.
every time he does the poem, I'm just like, God, just shut up,
Yeah.
Roderick.
Uh,
That's all I have to say about
so
that.
everything in the series tied up with a wonderful little ribbon, in my opinion.
Yes. Yes.
So we finally figured out what happened to Griswold, and who would have guessed
Dude.
that it was that
I
they hid him behind that
yeah.
brick wall that Roderick kept staring at. And I like the
Yeah.
whole setup for Cask of Amontillado, which is another famous Poe short story that we studied in school. One guy is pissed that another guy humiliated him, so he
Naturally.
rationally barricades him into the Paris catacombs after
Alive.
getting him super drunk. So that's what Roderick and Madeline do to Griswold. And
Yeah,
I
duh.
don't know, every time I see Amontillado adapted to film,
Yeah.
I realize how silly of a concept it is because it's so slow. And
It
like, yeah,
is.
Madeline gets to have her sassy little monologue,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
they're just doing manual labor and going so slow. And
I
it is a
know.
horrifying death, but Madeline and Roderick are much nicer than the narrator of the short story because they did give him cyanide.
Yeah, what's the point of all that?
Yeah,
You
so
know?
I mean, I
Anyway,
guess it
whatever.
works to hide the body. No one found it.
That's the only, yeah, that's the only thing is like he's no sound, but that now I know what the little dingy bell was. I thought it was like a bell, but it's his hat or like his
Oh,
mask or whatever.
that was such a good jump scare at the start of the episode.
Dude, I like I was like looking at my phone. What happened? Can you tell me? I missed the jump scare.
I was on the treadmill watching it first
Oh,
thing in the morning. So when
cool.
the little jester
Oh,
comes
it's
out
him.
suddenly,
Oh, that's
it,
scary.
no, that was such a good jump scare because
Nice.
because the series hasn't been super heavy on
Yeah,
the
on
jump
like this,
scare.
yeah, on like the scare factor. Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's like haunted house shit. You know what I mean? That's what you want to see when you're like trying to get scared. It's like a scary Chester guy.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right, cool. Cool. Well, rest in
Yeah,
peace.
so and then they set up their alibi, which we saw in the first episode, where they go to the
Mhm.
bar and we see the exact deal that was made with Verna all those years
Finally.
ago, and it's
Yeah,
just
it's finally.
they didn't sell her their souls because souls don't exist, quote unquote. And even if they did, they already sold them. So the deal is they will have everything they ever wanted and never like be tried or prosecuted or convicted of their crimes.
Yeah.
But when it's time for Roderick to die, his entire bloodline will also die. So
Yes.
that's what happened. And Lenore did unfortunately die this episode, but it was a good scene. It showed the humanity of
Yeah.
Verna
Yeah.
and why she didn't necessarily go youngest to oldest, which she
Yeah.
did with these siblings, to
Yeah.
be fair. But it was because she was putting off killing Lenore because she knew Lenore was one of the good ones. And we see that she does have the ability to just kill someone peacefully.
Yes. Yeah, I know. That's very nice. I was wondering what it would be for her.
Yeah. And I stand by that Verna maybe wasn't giving them an out like I initially thought when we started this, whenever she would present different options to them.
Yeah.
I think she was validating the deal she made to kill all of the children,
Yeah.
like
I,
seeing
I
that they
stand.
were like the world is going to be better off without them.
Yeah, because we didn't know this whole time. I really thought that she maybe was giving options, but like it seemed like everybody was just doomed from the start. So you're right. They would have just died anyway.
All right, we're currently voting in Messenger about what we're having for dinner tonight because everybody's too scared to drive to Roanoke in the thunderstorm.
Oh man.
Pansies. Anyway.
Not like us storm chasers, Sam. They can't handle it. Anyway.
Exactly. I'll go get chilies in a tornado. I'm not afraid. I want a triple dipper.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Somebody's been withholding information from me that there's a Chili's in Roanoke now, and I want to go get a triple dipper. I want to get chips and salsa. I want to get a $4 margarita.
Dude, yeah, speaking of $4 margaritas, the fucking Amontillado uh just keeps coming back in this episode.
Hmm. Oh yeah, because they're drinking it when
That's
they
my transition.
yeah. Anyway, wrapping this up since we did get a late start. Okay, so Verna is mournful that she had to kill Lenore, and she assures Lenore that her death won't be in vain because she saved her mother, and her
Yeah.
mother is going to inherit a shit ton of stuff from the Ushers as one of the two remaining heirs, one of the two
Yeah.
wives that survived, because it sounds like half the money was split with her and then Juno got the other half, and they both took that money and didn't want it. They
Yeah.
put it into charities, they built foundations, Juno
Yeah.
got clean, and Lenore's mother healed It was a long process, but she started a foundation to help burn victims, and the
No, it
foundation
was
would
domestic violence
domestic
victims.
violence. And that foundation would go on to save like 1 million people
Yeah, that
within
was really
6 years of being
emotional.
open. And she calls it Lenore's
Yeah, Lenore Foundation.
foundation. So Lenore was at peace knowing that her mother
Yeah.
makes it and does something good with the money she's about to inherit, and then she peacefully dies.
Yeah.
Um, Finally, Roderick and Madeline have it out after Madeline's dethroned him uh,
Yeah.
from Fortunato. They have it out in the basement. He's hoarded all of her stuff into the basement, and it's kind of weird, but he has
All of hers.
dementia. It's fine.
It is.
They drink sherry, and she goes on and on about how everybody in this world is terrible because there is no ethical consumerism under capitalism. That's her speech.
Aha.
That's what it boils down to. And
Yes.
that if Verna's going to kill her, she's going to look her in the eyes and do it. And then she passes out the same way Griswold passed
Yeah,
out.
Griswold, yeah.
And Roderick calls her a queen. And so he gives her a queen's burial because Madeline's been interested in Egyptian culture this whole time.
Yeah.
So he begins the mummification process by taking her eyes out. And
Puts like
I
the
think I think when
sapphires
her
in their eyeballs.
puts sapphires in her eyeballs. I couldn't tell if he cut her tongue out when she comes back at the very end.
I wasn't sure either.
Yeah, but I
I'm
couldn't.
guessing maybe,
I
yeah.
I mean, they cut out the tongue for mummification. I just
Yeah.
saw Mummy in theaters again, so
Oh, cool.
I
Yeah, you
think they
probably
cut
right.
it out.
It was out then, yeah.
Um,
You don't need
but
that.
I don't think she actually died from that, or she just came back from the dead like their mother did.
Yeah, maybe she did. I was gonna say, like, why didn't she die? Like, did he not give her enough drink?
Yeah. And then she goes after him, strangles him, the house falls around them. The fall,
It falls
perhaps.
down. Yeah, well, that's what happens in the short stories. It does fall
Yeah.
down.
And then Dupin escapes and he says mentally the like I presume the last lines of the short story.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. Tying it all with a nice bow. Before that, we got a scene where Mark Hamill tries to take out Verna and he's successful at it, or so
Yeah.
he thinks, and then she reappears and they have what I consider a very sexually charged conversation.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
I hope if Mike Flanagan does another series like this, I hope he puts those two together because their chemistry
Absolutely. He probably,
was
once he saw her,
fantastic.
he was probably like, oh my God, she's so beautiful.
Yeah,
Can't wait to have a scene with her and kill her.
because she was like, "What you do beautifully," referring to like how he's kind of a
How he's
hitman for the ushers
the
and
best hitman ever.
mm-hmm.
But that
And
was
how
smooth as fuck. I didn't know he actually killed her, and then I was like, oh,
yeah,
she's gonna die.
yeah. And then
Of
he
course
was
she
like,
wasn't gonna die, but yeah.
yeah, and then he said, I don't love anything because I don't want the collateral or
Mhm.
leverage that comes with love." And she's like, "I respect that, bro."
Yeah, she's like, that's
But
fine.
like their
This was
chemistry was off the
pleasure.
charts, in
I
my
know.
opinion.
She's like, this is a pleasure. Bye. Touch face touch.
And Mark Hamill is such a good actor.
Who can resist him though in real
Yeah.
life? Like he's probably such a delight. And yeah, he's such a
He
great
seems so
actor.
charming. I
Yeah.
saw a fairly recent Twitter post from like a movie event. I don't think it was a Star Wars event specifically, but it was
Yeah.
an event where he ran into Natalie Portman, and I
Oh,
guess it was the first time they've ever actually met. And he said, "I
wow.
finally met my mom today."
Oh, yeah, I think I have seen that
Yeah.
pose. That's so
So he
funny
just
and
seems
sweet.
like an absolute delightful fellow, and a good
Yeah.
guy. He says
Mhm.
he's not going to do the Joker anymore because Kevin, not Costner, but Kevin Conroy, I believe,
Oh, yeah.
his Batman, who he started the Joker with, passed away, and
Um,
he doesn't want to take on another Batman project without him because if Kevin was signed on for the project, he didn't even need to read the script. He knew it was going to be worth it and worth his time.
uh-huh.
But now his friend is gone and he doesn't have any interest in doing it anymore.
Oh, I feel the same way probably.
Yeah.
So that's nice of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Um,
conscience.
and so tragic end for the Ushers, but a good end for everyone else. One of my favorite filmmaking moments in this was when Roderick drunkenly drives to Fortunato and sees the deceased corpses of his children. And
Yeah.
then Verna says, "This is all your fault. How many
Mm.
lives have you taken?" And we just see the body start raining down behind him.
Yeah. That was crazy. And like building up in like big piles on top of buildings and in the streets and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, that was cool.
Like this was a very good series,
Yeah.
and I know there's a lot of conversations about heightened horror or elevated horror.
Elevated horror. Yeah. Yep.
And one thing I think we need to take away from that conversation is horror can do more than just scare you. There's a lot of negative emotions that
Mhm.
horror can draw on. I'm very hyped for the movie Longlegs. There's not a lot of information about the plot yet, which is great, but it looks like one of those great horror movies that make you uncomfortable versus just setting out to scare you as much as
Yeah.
possible. Like It Follows. I wouldn't consider
Oh,
a
yeah.
horror movie designed to scare you. It's meant to make you uneasy more than anything.
I like that movie a lot.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Like there's jump scares, but
Yeah.
there's just this overwhelming sense of dread in It Follows.
Yes, there is. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So with this final episode, watching Verna feel remorse over the death of Lenore is a reminder that, sadness and grief is also a key
Mhm.
component
Yeah,
in horror
definitely.
movies. Like The Nightingale, which was a
Yeah.
fabulous movie that
Hey,
was
we watched that,
we
right?
did watch it and we liked it.
We liked that a lot. That was a good
Yeah.
one.
And Nightingale is a movie that is a horror movie that really it's driven by the sense of grief and
Yeah.
loss.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the debate around elevated horror is pretentious because we all love the 80s slasher movies and the campiness. But I think a lot of filmmakers who want to get into horror need to realize horror can be a lot of things and stop with the whole, it's not really a horror movie, it's more of a family movie with horror
Oh,
elements.
how stupid. That just
Fucking
sounds
John
dumb.
Krasinski.
Really? What did he say? Did he say
He,
that?
I believe he said that when A Quiet
Not a
Place
quiet
came out.
place. Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
Like
Not a family movie, bro, just because there's a kid in it.
just because there's a family doesn't make it a like
I
yeah,
know.
there's family drama, but it's a horror movie first and foremost. And a horror movie can center family drama. Case in point, Fall
Yes.
to the House of Usher.
God. Damn, that guy doesn't get it, does he? He made a
Yeah.
horror movie and he still doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, oh
So that's why I
no.
like Mike Flanagan is he does do these kind of elevated horror movies, but he's still a horror guy
He's a
at the end of
horror
the day.
guy. Yeah.
Like
He's married
he
to a
knows how to
horror
scare
girl.
you. And even though I
Oh,
haven't seen Hill House yet, I
oh,
know
dude.
there's a lot of grief
That's
and
his best
tragedy
work. Yeah, I
in
think that's his
that.
best work. You're gonna love Hill House.
Yeah. So
It's
um
excellent.
yeah, I would classify this as elevated horror, but it still has like
Elevated.
those components of horror that we recognize, the jump scares, the gore,
Yeah.
the
The traditional
yeah,
stuff that does scare us at the base level and brings the fear out, not anything else, just like the fear,
yeah,
which is fun.
yeah.
It's fun. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
good point
agree.
bringing up the traditional. My problem with the elevated horror conversations is that it puts down the traditional elements
It
of
does,
horror.
like, as if the traditional ones like aren't good enough for like the
Hmm.
hoity-toity members of society who
Yeah.
enjoy elevated
And
horror
it's when you
only.
combine all of these elements, that's when you get like a fucking good movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
so upset if Longlegs doesn't live up to the hype that I've given it in my head.
Is
But it
Long Legs
has
in theaters or is it out?
it's coming out in July
July. Okay.
and it's gonna be good. And I'm seeing I don't know if it's classified directly as a horror movie. I believe it is. I think it's coming to
Yeah.
Shudder and it's gonna be a Shudder exclusive.
Nice.
Um
Oh, we've got Shudder.
it's called I Saw the TV Glow. And from reviews from our horror critic friends, they've said people were crying in the audience
Whoa.
with how emotional this movie
Wow.
was. So I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, it looks like this is like out in some theaters
It's a
now.
limited release, so it's at my theater, thankfully. I was just gonna see it because the aesthetics look
Oh,
top tier.
dude, they got Justice Smith in it finally. I freaking love him because he's
That's
in
another
the
one.
video game The Quarry, which
Mm-hmm.
is like this, not the sequel, but it's the same people that made Supermassive Games. They made Until Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And so they mocap, so it's like him in it, and he is so big and tall, and his voice is like the deepest voice I've ever heard, and he's my favorite character in
Yeah.
that game. And I'm just like sitting here like, hello, when are you gonna put him in a horror movie, guys? When are you gonna put him in a movie? Come on, come
Yeah.
on, come on.
I
So
really
thank
like Justice
you.
Smith, and I think I saw the TV Glow is gonna be a very interesting horror
Yes.
movie.
Glad to see that he is the first person I see in the cast list. Sweet.
Yeah.
Fred Durst. Isn't that like a what? Fred Durst. What? Limp Bizkit guy?
Is the Limp Bizkit guy in it?
Yeah.
I don't listen to Limp Bizkit, so I don't know
Dude.
anything about Limp Bizkit.
I don't know Limp Bizkit, and the reason I know is because Eminem has a rap song, like a diss thing about him.
Of course he does.
The fuck? Well, no, this is so funny because I feel like it's bringing Saw full circle because remember you said that the Linkin Park guy was in it and I didn't know it was him and I don't know it was dead. Well, Fred Durst is alive and he's gonna be in this horror movie and he's
Huh.
like from not Linkin Park but Limp Bizkit.
Hmm.
Limp Bizkit.
Well,
What
I
does
think it'll be a fun movie,
it
I
looks
hope.
cool?
It looks trippy as hell, so it's
It's
gonna be
got
a trippy
yeah.
horror movie.
It's got the same, it looks like the same poster art, almost identical to Poltergeist,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
is like the scariest movie of all time, and I'll never watch it again as long as I live. Unless Sam, you want us to watch it again, which is fine. But other than that, no.
Maybe. I've never actually seen
Oh,
Poltergeist.
that is the movie that did me in, dude. Like, you know how like people talk about they have like that one movie that like fucked them up for life.
Mm-hmm.
It was that one. I watched it too young, and that movie's fucked up as it is. So, Sam, you should watch it, but like, you got to be in the right like headspace.
Yeah.
Maybe we should watch it, but I'm scared I make it like re-traumatized. What if I do?
It'll unlock something in
Oh
you.
my God. It's like whenever you said David watched Skinamarink and saw the scary phone and like had his childhood demons unlocked and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen again. I don't want it to happen to me. So, but if you want to watch it, I feel like Poltergeist is like a top tier horror
Yeah.
movie because it did scare me so bad. And there's
We'll
like,
find space for it. A lot of horror
it's
movies have
crazy.
released during the Saw retrospective, so
I
when I
know.
get back
You're
from
right.
London, we're gonna have to build out a calendar,
Oh yeah, we should,
which will be
Sam.
super easy with Notion.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think you can, and since I have Notion too,
We
I
can
think you can
share.
like share. Yeah, we can like share, so you can like add me or something like Google
Ooh,
Drive. But
nice.
anyway, yeah. Apart
Yeah.
from all the
So
poltergeist stuff, yeah.
let's we will figure out which Mike Flanagan
Oh,
we watch next, and
okay.
we will let you know in the next episode what it'll
Yeah.
be.
And then in the meantime, go ahead and watch Spiral, which is our second to last Saw movie with Chris Rock. And you know what? He's freaking excellent in this movie. Everybody who is
Ooh.
ever hate on this movie, seriously, just open yourself up to it. It's an
See,
excellent movie.
that's one of the things that intrigues me is Chris Rock in a horror movie.
He's so great. He's so great, dude.
'Cause
Like, I don't know what it is
my
about
theory
him.
is
Yeah.
when you put comedians in serious roles, they are gonna blow your fucking mind
Dude,
because
they can do it.
comedians are just depressed by
Yeah, they
nature.
are. You know what, Sam? And I read this thing. I don't know if I read it on like X or Threads or whatever, but it talked about how like you need to realize that like comedic actors in a dramatic role kill it because whenever they're being funny in funny roles, they're like so serious to try to hit like their cue, you know what I
Hmm.
mean, and like hit their joke and make whatever type of facial feature or like whatever they have to do. So it's like harder to be funny, I feel like, and pull it
Hmm.
off than anything else. So whenever they can take that skill and be dramatic, I think
Hmm.
they just kill it.
I will say this until the day I die. Adam Sandler was robbed an Oscar nomination for uncut gems.
Dude, I still haven't seen that movie, but like it's on my list because it's one of those things that just came out and I'm like, ah, fuck, I gotta, and they just keep coming, they keep coming,
Yeah.
and the world starts coming and they don't stop coming. The years start coming and they don't stop coming. Right, Sam?
Right. All right, that's a good note to end it on.
Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Watch Spiral, and then we'll come at you with a new show.
And we will decide how we're going to do this Flanagan rewind.
Flanagan. Rewind,
right.
yeah.
Talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
And there's a creepy dog.